Students, this is Mr. Depsick. I'm going to show you how to make your very first program in the space that we're using to create programs through GitHub. Our coding will happen in this area over here, but we have to first create the file. And on the left side here, these panes, you can move them around and stuff. But you'll notice on the left side over here, nothing's there at first. As I mouse over, I have the option to make a new file or a new folder. I want to take this opportunity to tell you, don't make folders. It'll confuse things. It'll mess us up. It's not quite like Windows, just don't do it. But I do want to make a new file. Every program's a new file. I'm going to click on this, and I have to name it right off the bat using those conventions that we talked about on the slideshow. Those conventions are your initials, the last three of your ID, the unit number, the assignment number, and then .java. All those things have to be just like that for me to grade and give you credit for your work. And this .java is super duper important. No spaces. It has to start with a letter. When I press enter, then over here we get a tab where we can start to do our actual coding. And the next thing I'm going to do is put in comments. By putting a couple of forward slashes, things turn green, and the computer ignores this. Now I'm going to pause the video and type in the code that you have on the slideshow as well, just so you can see how it looks. I want to point out, as I type in the code, I'm not putting any line numbers. They're showing up automatically. And anytime I press a space bar, that little dot shows up. That's just the computer's way of telling me that I put a space there. I'm not putting that dot in there. That dot is just showing that I have a space. Watch, I'll press the space bar again. And then they kind of go away sometimes. Sometimes they don't. But that's what's happening. I'm going to carry on with the code as you guys see it. I will mention that this part actually, the thing that has to follow class has to match what you named your file, everything before the .java, but not the .java itself. So all of these symbols, exactly as they are, have to follow your class name. If you don't, then the computer's going to get confused and not be able to run your program. So whatever this is, minus the .java, that's going to go here exactly as it's typed. I'm going to pause again and finish this off. For the program, you can see that the high contrast color coding is very helpful. Every symbol matters. You know, if I have a semicolon, you have to have a semicolon. If I have a capital S, you have to have a capital S. I think this code is right, but we'll figure that out in the next step. We go to compile it, but this is where the code's going. And if you got all that worked out, then the next part should be pretty good. Let's check it out and see what happens next. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to compile the program. It's just a fancy word for telling the computer how to read what the code says and then actually run the program so you can see what it's supposed to do. So let's check that out and see how it goes.